Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello there. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so I know my voice sounds a little crazy. Well, that's because I have a cold. I really had a great Thanksgiving with my family and everything went really, really well. And then that night, I just got hit with this cough that would not stop. And so that is what I'm battling right now. I'm battling a cough, a sore throat, but it's not COVID, which is cool. So I did take a COVID test. It's not COVID, and I'm actually feeling a lot better. So today is Monday. I'm recording this on Monday after Thanksgiving. So it's been a few days, starting to feel better, but I wanted to let you know, that's why my voice may sound a little raspy and not normal. So with that, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you had time to spend with your family and friends. I hope you had fun participating in the Black Friday sales, and I hope you followed your plan and that you did not overspend. But if you did, no worries. You can always get back on track. You do not have to stay off track just because you make a mistake. Remember that. I think that is one of the things that keeps so many women from building wealth because they think they have to do it perfectly, but that's not true. If you make a mistake, guess what? That just means you're human. And as a human being, you get to make mistakes, but you don't need to stay there. And so many times when we make a mistake, we feel like we just need to give up and, we just don't have what it takes and we're just bad with money and all of those things that keep us living a life full of financial stress and financial worries. And it prevents us from getting to the wealthy life that we really want to create. So today's topic is going to really address some of those mindset blocks that really keep so many of us women living a mediocre financial life. So today we're talking about how to save money. And believe it or not, people tell me that they just don't know how to save money. And so that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get down to the basics. I'm not going to get fancy with this. I have so much more to talk about when it comes to savings, but this is like a savings 101 lesson here because I want you all to start saving like ASAP. There's no perfect time to begin. You don't need to begin when you get a raise. Wherever you are, I believe that you can start saving. So that is what we're going to talk about today. And I also want you to know that the reason why I'm able to talk to you the way I'm going to talk to you today is because I experienced not being able to save money. So many of you know that my husband and I, we were deep in debt. We were in over $200,000 worth of debt, and we were determined to get out of it. So I was doing a debt snowball, and I was using some of what Dave Ramsey taught. I didn't use all of his methods because I think a lot of it was just too stifling and too restrictive. And we talked about this before on the podcast. Episode number 24, I talk about how I'm different from Dave Ramsey because I am very different from him, but I still respect him. I learned a lot from him. And honestly, I got on this journey after reading his book, which is The Total Money Makeover. So I am not one of those Dave Ramsey haters at all. He was instrumental in getting me to where I am today, just to have the mindset that I could get out of debt. I thought that it was just not even possible for me. So he was somebody saying it's possible, and he had a method, and I used that method. So I didn't use all of his strategies, especially when it came to investing and saving and some of the other things he talks about, but I did use the debt snowball. And I used the debt snowball for years because we had a ton of debt. We had student loans, car payments, credit cards, you name it, we had it. So this was my life for years. Money in, money on debt. Money in, money on debt. Now, remember, I learned that you can do both. You could build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. So sometimes it was money in, some money on debt, some money going to vacations. Or money in, some money going on debt, some money went to shopping. Like I figured that part out, right? But whatever was coming in was going straight back out. So I did not have the capacity to keep money. I was programmed, I was conditioned mentally for money to come in and then money to leave right back out. Even though I was paying it on my debt, it was still going back out. So I was just programmed to not keep money, to not have money. So there is a skill when it comes to having money. Having money means to be able to have it in your presence, easily available to you without spending it. So many of us do not have that capacity to have money. So many of us do not have the capacity to have money, right? To have money in your purse without spending it, to have money in your savings account that's very accessible to you without spending it, having it in any area of your house without spending it. It's like your purse or your pocket has a hole in it and you can't stand having money without spending it. And I can say all of this because that was me. It was always money in, money out. But I didn't realize this until I was out of debt and now it was time to build up my savings. And I couldn't do it. No matter what, whenever there was an opportunity for me to have money, I would spend it. So no more debt, right? All the debt was gone. So you would think logically that, oh, wow, she's just going to be able to save all this money. And that was not the case because my brain, my primitive brain was programmed to not keep money, to not have money. Having money was unfamiliar to me. So I had to make it familiar. And that is what I want to offer you today. In order to save money, you have to make it familiar to your brain to have money. And you can do it gradually. So I know sometimes we like to just rush and get the amount. So let's say you want to save $10,000. You're like, well, I'm going to get a bonus and I'm just going to save that entire bonus. Well, you might put it in a savings account, but the chances are if you have not been used to having $10,000 available to you in liquid cash, that you will spend that money. You will self-sabotage yourself back to your familiar comfort zone. And so I want you all to be aware of that. That is a real thing. Your primitive brain wants you to live in the familiar, even if the familiar is not what you want, right? Because familiar means safe and safe means survival. And your primitive brain's job is to merely have you survive, not thrive. Having $10,000 is unfamiliar, that's thriving, and your primitive brain could care less. Now, your prefrontal cortex, that higher level part of your brain, that human part of your brain, yes, that is the part that wants you to have the $10,000 or the $20,000 or whatever you want to have. But that part of your brain has to be actively involved and needs to be aware of the psychology that's preventing you from keeping and having money. Okay, so that is the basis for the conversation. And this is why joining the Wealthy Woman's Academy is such a game changer for so many people, because we do not focus on just strategy. We focus on this kind of stuff, the stuff that keeps you stuck, right? We all know what we should be doing, but we're not doing it. And in the Wealthy Woman's Academy, that's what we address. We address the psychology behind why you're not doing all the things you really want to do. You get 4 weeks working with me one-on-one to get your specific situations addressed. If it's overspending, if it's not saving, if it's just not knowing how to manage your money or not knowing how to plan your money or not even knowing where all your money goes. We're going to spend a whole month on you, just me and you getting clear on where you are financially and where you want to go. And we're going to work through all of that. You're going to get everything you need to know in those 4 weeks. And then from there, you get to go into the group coaching program where you get to work as a collective. You can hear other people get coached, you'll get coached, and I will help you and support you and guide you while you implement everything you learned during those 4 weeks. So if you're interested in joining, if you've been thinking about it, this is the time to do it, because let's end 2023 on a high note. You can actually end 2023 better than you began it financially. You can go right to the show notes, click on the link to join and to learn more about it. There's more details if you click on that link. You could also go to www.jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's jermainefoley.com/WWA. And Jermaine is spelled with a G. If you're interested, go over there, get all the information you want. There's even an opportunity to book a consultation with me if you have more questions, or if you have questions that are not answered on that website that you click on. So let's get back into the rest of the topic for today, which again is all about learning how to save money and knowing that your primitive brain doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to stay in the familiar and wants you to stay in your financial comfort zone. And this is a concept. The financial comfort zone is a concept that I will be talking to you all more about, because that is really what's happening. We all have financial comfort zones, and we got to learn how to expand those. And learning how to save money is one way to do that. So for the rest of our time together, I'm just going to be quick and straight to the point. Hopefully my voice will last. So number one, the first thing you have to do is to get rid of all of the money mindset blocks that are preventing you from saving money. I want you to know that your thoughts are so powerful. Your thoughts are energy. They create feelings in your body. And those feelings and emotions in your body drives you to either take action or prevents you from taking action. And those action steps that you take or don't take will either create wealth or prevent you from creating wealth. Okay? So your thoughts are the beginning to all of it. Right? And so many of us are thinking thoughts like these. I don't know how to save. I'm not good at saving. I'm bad with money. I'm a spender. Saving will prevent me from having fun. If I save, I have to stop buying stuff. All of those are just thoughts that are not true, but we are thinking them, so we think that they're true. They're just sentences in our brain. And I want you to think about this. If you tell yourself, I don't know how to save. That's a thought, and that thought has energy. What emotion do you feel when you think that? A lot of times it's like discouragement, apathy, and apathy and discouragement will literally keep you from doing anything when it comes to your finances. So that thought is literally preventing you from saving. So I don't know how to save. That thought prevents you from even learning how to save. It prevents you from figuring out how to save. So I want you to start becoming aware of the thoughts that are going on in your brain, because they are so powerful. They are energy. They are making you feel a certain way, and those feelings are either causing you to take actions or preventing you from taking other actions, and those action steps create the amount of money that you have, okay? So we have to become aware of what we're thinking. And one really good way to do that is just to journal about it. So one exercise you can do is literally write at the top of your paper, what do I think about saving money? And just let yourself write without editing yourself, without stopping, without erasing, for at least 3 to 5 minutes. And then you will see all of the thoughts that are swirling around in your head. And if you're not saving, those thoughts will show you the reason why. Because you're thinking thoughts like, I don't know how, or I'm bad with money, or I'm a spender, or saving will prevent me from having fun. And I want you to question every single thought that you find that is not a good one, that is not going to get you to the result that you want, right? Because you could easily think that I'm going to figure out how to save. I'm going to become good at saving. I'm a saver and a spender. I can do both. I can build wealth, I can save, and I can still have fun. Like, you could literally think the opposite, right? Think of a battery. If you think about a battery, it always has a positive charge and a negative charge. And you get to decide what charge you're going to focus on. Every subject has 2 sides. Either I'm bad with money, or I'm going to figure out how to get better with money, right? You don't have to go from I'm bad with money to I'm great with money, because you don't believe that. But you could go from I'm bad with money to I'm going to get better at money, or I'm going to figure out this money thing, because everybody can. And I will help you in the Wealthy Woman's Academy if that is what you want. Number 2, set up a savings account that is not connect it to your checking account. We're going to get real specific here and real tactical. Literally, I do not want your savings account attached to your checking account, especially if you are not in the habit of saving. Now, if you're in the habit of saving and you can trust yourself to not transfer money back and forth, totally fine. And eventually it won't matter. But for now, for those of you who are just starting to save and we need to reprogram your brain and do all those kinds of things so that you can become used to saving, this is what you do. This is what I did. This is what I tell my clients to do. So I'm going to give it to you as well. Set up a savings account either online. You can use an online bank. I love those because they offer something called high yield savings accounts where you can get way more interest for your money. Okay. And then the other option is just another bank or credit union that is just not affiliated with the one you have. The reason why we're doing this is because it is so easy to open up your online banking app. And when you have a checking and a savings account at one institution, you could just move money back and forth all the time. I used to do that all day long. I would be at Target in impulse buying mode, transferring money from my checking to my savings so I could buy some stuff that I didn't even need. Okay? So this is why I'm saying this. I'm speaking from experience here. Now, the other thing I want you to be cognizant of is that you do want a way to access the money, but you don't need to carry around a debit card or ATM card in your wallet. Not for your savings account, at least not yet. So go ahead and get the ATM card, leave it at home, because guess what? We don't want easy access to this money. We want to put an obstacle in between you and that ATM card. So go ahead and get the card if they offer it to you, but do not carry it around with you. There's no point. Now, if you do use an online bank, I do have a caveat here. So let's say you use Ally Bank. I highly recommend them. They offer 4.25% interest on your savings account. You can't beat that anywhere. I mean, especially at a local credit union or a bank, you may find a better rate at a different online bank. But Ally, I love them so much. One of the reasons why I love them is because you can have one savings account and then you can divide that money into buckets. So once you really get into the groove of saving and it has become a habit that you live by, you can then divide that money into buckets. So like a travel bucket, a vacation bucket, a college bucket, all of those different types of buckets you can have all within that one account, and all that money is earning the 4.25% interest. That interest rate is great for money that is just sitting there in liquid and that is easily available to you, because what we don't want to do is tie up our money in mutual funds and stocks and things like that. So if you do use an online bank, that means that there aren't any local banks you can go to withdraw money. So I recommend getting a checking account with them, keeping like $5 in there, and having that attached to your savings account, because then you will be able to access the money with the debit card. Because savings accounts do not have debit cards attached to them, but you do want to have a debit card option so you can easily access the money if there's an emergency. But again, you're not carrying the card around, but that's just a little workaround with the online bank. Open the checking account and the savings account. And then if you ever need to transfer money from savings to checking, you can use your debit card to do that. And they will give you a nice little checkbook for that checking account. You can transfer money from the savings account to the checking account, super easy. And you can write checks as well. So that is kind of a workaround for the online banks. I think that's worth it for the interest rates that they pay. Otherwise, if you're using a credit union or another local bank, a savings account is perfectly fine, because guess what? You get to just go to the bank and withdraw money if you need it. And you can use the ATM with the ATM card. Number 3, just start. Okay, I want you to just start saving. So forget about all that. I don't know how much is enough. Listen, right now you're saving nothing. So let's just pick a number. Literally pick a number that your primitive brain can get on board with. I hope it's at least $100, but if that's a problem, start with 50, start with 25. It doesn't matter. Just start and pick a number. And what you're going to do is have that amount automatically sent over to this new savings account. Now, if you work for an employer, you can talk to your HR department about this and just have most of your check go to your checking account, and then the $50, $25, or $100 go to your savings account. Many employers nowadays have online portals where you can just go online and do this yourself. For my company, I can go online and I have my check going into, I think, 3 different bank accounts. They could care less how many I choose. So you can go online and do the same thing. So instead of having all your money go to your checking account, have a certain amount go to your savings and then the remaining go to your checking account, okay? And pick a number. This is just a starting point. I promise you, as you get going, you are going to want to do more. So right now, we're just starting. And this money will go to your new savings account that you open up. Now, if you are self-employed, I hope you are paying yourself at least monthly. So when you pay yourself, direct that amount towards savings, whatever amount you picked, and the rest can go towards your checking account, okay? That is how simple it is. And I recommend you don't even check that account until we get to like 3 to 4 months out, because I want you to see that you do know how to save, that you can save, and I want you to be proud of the amount. Because sometimes when we look, right away and we only see, $50 or $25, we want to discount ourselves. We want to tell ourselves that's not a lot. But when you check it like 3 or 4 months out, and you are living life and not even missing that money because you don't spend what you don't have, right? What's out of sight is also out of mind. You start to have confidence in yourself. You start to believe in yourself. You start to feel proud of yourself. And that is what I want for all of you. So no more telling yourself that you don't know how to save. I just told you exactly how to do it. Number 1, get rid of all of the money mindset blocks that are preventing you from saving, right? Stop telling yourself that you're not good with money and that you don't know how to save. Number 2, set up a savings account that is not connected to your primary checking account. Get a different bank. I highly recommend an online bank. Number 3, just start. Doesn't matter how much, just start, and you're going to increase it as we go. And then number 4, forget about it. And check in on it in about 3 to 4 months and be proud of yourself for how much you saved. Because guess what? You should be proud of yourself because you are able to save and you are expanding your financial comfort zone and doing something you haven't done before. Okay? So this is just the beginning. I'm going to do more episodes on saving money, but I really just want you all to get started. Even during the holiday season, even now, you can literally start saving this week. You do not have to wait. Remember, talk to your HR professional. If you don't have an online portal, if you do have an online portal, you can do this within 5 minutes. Send a certain amount to that savings account once you open it, and then the remaining to your checking account. And then if you are self-employed or you're a business owner, when you pay yourself a check, go ahead and send whatever amount you chose to this new savings account that you just opened up. Okay? You all have this. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Let's start saving money, y'all, because guess what? You can build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. And remember, if you want help with this is my specialty. I would love, love, love to help you. Go to the show notes, click on that link to join the Wealthy Women's Academy, or simply go to www.jermainefoley.com/WWA. I will see you next episode. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Women's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to jermainefoley.com/WWA. That's Jermaine with a G. See you over there. Bye-bye.